Hello everybody, Seamless KaBoom is back to continue Katawa Shoujo. So here's where we left off with this random tall man who happens to look like David Tennant's doctor. So let's continue, shall we? You must be not Nikki. Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I am your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mutao, something like that. Again, don't mind if I butcher these names. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Why? Should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable. I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Think of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Yeah, of course, or why? Why? Do I have to? Of course not, that's why I asked. Right. Let's go then. I guess I'm introducing myself to the class anyways. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. Well, that doesn't bode well. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Mutao opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying about so much about it. At least not this soon. What an interesting class we have here. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious, the ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards, and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. We have blackboards! Yes, I miss blackboards. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the class and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Which one's missing her thumb? What's up with the guy in the back? He looks dead. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see someone is looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands, as if it will make her invisible. Which one did it? There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. I didn't even see that. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rim of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. I don't know. If I said something really immature or inappropriate, faking that sign language, I am truly sorry for those who actually understood it. I was not meaning offense. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. Oh, okay, so that's the girl with the sign language. I guess. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her at the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row, who only has one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. After the applause, there is a brief silence that nobody seems to want to be responsible for breaking. The teacher soon realizes that he should probably say something. He opens up with some unintelligible noise, shuts up as he loses his momentum, and then starts introducing me. Nobody seems to be too interested, because I'm not that interesting. Maybe I should have said yes to the self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again, and asks me to write it on the blackboard. I do that, and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. Especially with that one right in the front who doesn't have a hand. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against the other wrist. That ends in a bandaged stump. Jesus! It makes me feel bad. It really does make me feel bad that I'm doing this. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How would I know? Good question. How would I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh, right. Hakamichi is right there. She's doing Hakamichi. Oh, it's the pink hair girl. Oh dear. I wonder what's wrong with her. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window, in case I need a quick escape. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Why is she laughing at me? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. I actually am caught off by... It's nice to meet you too, but... Oh God. I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan. Oh! Okay. Giggling, she points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. Oh God, this is just getting worse and worse. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neated brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seems to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Of course she's not going to say anything. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people, and who'd better to explain things to you. This game is just one large downhill thing, from what I can tell. And I'm not sure how to go. From the way I'm gathering any of this, obviously the darker haired one is obviously the one who does the sign language, and I'm assuming that the pink haired one is her translator. I could see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I was right. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason. Misha looks at me with a weird expression, then continues. We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later. Maybe I should have introduced myself after all. I'm thinking I should have. Maybe I would have gotten all of this differently. Anything would have given a better first impression than the teacher's drone and fumbling with my name. We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. Hichan, right? Hichan. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. Okay. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Uh-oh. Yeah, you look just like a Him-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. More like ask you, but okay, whatever. That's totally fine. Do you like the school so far? We could show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Okay, so I'm guessing that because of certain things that I'm noticing about Misha's thing is that she has a hard time with words, so she must have some type of dyslexia or something like that. That's what I'm guessing her issue is. But it's still not making me feel any better about this entire situation of this game. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school, either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan. Learn about where you're going? I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it. Half-assedly, anyways. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, and that shrug hit me unexpectedly deep. You look down, are you? She looks so sad. Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. She obviously likes laughing. Alright. And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal, like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Oh no, that is hers. Okay, just call her that. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizun would be more appropriate. Okay, so she's fine with me calling her by her first name. Shizun. I'm hoping I am pronouncing that right. I am truly sorry again for butchering any names in this game. when it comes to other names in other languages, I do have my own troubles. And there are some words in the English language I have trouble with. So, again, I do apologize for butchering of names. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I'll just call her the dark-haired one. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizun, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that. Just less so, I guess. Oh, right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizun glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. I get the message. After class, we'll take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? Sure. The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finish it in a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class despite our late start. Shizun and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little bit more easily distracted. She's a little ditzy. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch! Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hall and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! No, really? Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice! It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet with the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizun to a table sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizun. Why does she seem so angry? A lot of her thing looks really angry. Does she not like men? Is she a sexist deaf person? I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite? Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there is something. Deafness or library? Well, we're already getting into a rude-ass game that is... I don't know if this is outwardly supposed to be mocking disabilities. I don't think so. I think it's actually just a game to bring in those aspects of humanity. So let's ask about Shizun's deafness. She intrigues me, and I kind of want to ask something about her. But I can't really ask about something that personal, can I? I'll do it anyways. I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I just focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. Really? Really? Whatever. Misha and Shizun sign back and forth, very animately, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Obviously, I've done something insulting. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. Maybe Shizun's on that time of the month. Oh, that's kind of neat. I can use the scroll thing to go backwards. That's actually kind of neat. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Oh wow, so that was the end of that. We arrived in the classroom early, but we're not the first. We have a burn girl in class. That dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk in the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rock. She shrinks deeper into a seat. I could feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizun either don't notice or don't mind it as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with the other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. I hope my body is ready. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizun are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hee-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there is a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait. The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Oh, sure. Make it sound like it's such a huge thing and such a problem. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. So I'm a senior? When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office, and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? That's actually a very good question. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's kind of cool that the school has an indoor pool. But I don't see what the significance of it is. Hey, maybe I end up coming across someone who has to constantly be in water, and I have to go to the pool and talk to her under the water. I don't know. Well, we'll see over time. Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. See, this is just me rattling off and talking to you guys, and I'm not even reading what I'm supposed to be reading. So I'm making all these guesses and not knowing what's on the screen literally in front of me. That shows... Just never mind. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit, like the teacher said. On a white door on the left, even though it's not a white door, that's a brown door, anyways, on the white door on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and it smells strange. Well, nurses and doctors' offices and hospitals normally have that smell anyways. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, and the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is a young-looking, sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard the I just noticed his face changed. He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You could call me by my name or just the nurse, like everyone else. So that's his Time Lord name? The nurse? I mean, there's the doctor. Might as well have the nurse. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is KaBoom. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Ooh, you're that guy. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some type of chronic arrhythmia. Arrhythmia. God. I'm not medical. That's my fiance, not me. So, actually, I'm going to have to talk to her about some of these so I know how to pronounce them. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels out of place, that I'm left thinking that why he even said it. Yeah, so just that is really weird that to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now just let me find your file again. But you were just... Oh, he was looking at it in the morning. Never mind. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It is the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all of the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly, 3 times a day, and from all the food groups. I don't remember that in any of my nurses' rooms in any of my schools. Except for my college right now. I have never been to the nurse at my college. I don't even know if my college actually has a nursing office. I think it does. It would seem like they would. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, and it won't be much help. Oh, or it won't be much help. Obviously, I have dyslexia. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. All right, I'm afraid we're going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Understandable. Too much exercise and my heart... My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with more of a serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. That makes more sense, because I was about to say, exercise for a heart condition? I mean, yes, but what are we talking about? Brisk walls, or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, and I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out. Before I even realize it, a quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or their dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time and I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. Well, I seem pretty far into this already. I'm going to go ahead and stop this part right here. I've gotten to meet a couple of my classmates. I got to meet the nurse. There's an indoor pool with the nurses, I guess. So, thank you for tuning into this episode of Katawa Shoujo. I'm starting to get more into the flow of this game. I'm still a little concerned about what the future holds for me, because I do know that this is a dating sim. So, only time will tell. So, thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and like my Facebook page, subscribe to me, like and share this video, and until the next video, I will see you then. Bye!